Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to get right into it today about the topic that we all want to know the answer of, and that is, does my narcissist miss me? Does he think about me? Right? After you've been discarded and you see them with their new supply, you're very confused and you're like, well, how can he move on? And you're so fast, and does he even miss me? Doesn't even think about me after all our history and everything we've been through, and sometimes you get really angry because you felt so invisible towards the end of the relationship, and you're thinking about them all the time now that the relationship's over, and you're wondering, are they thinking about me? Do they miss me? Now the answer to this is difficult, because they are going to miss your fuel, right? You have to look at it from their perspective a little bit, in the way that they are missing you. You were a great fuel source for them until your reserves ran dry, and they're out there with their new supply, and they're going to eventually run their reserves dry a little bit. Now, there's going to be little hints about this, even at the beginning stage of his new relationship. As soon as he feels, as soon as they have their very first fight, the first thing that he's going to think about is you, right? Most likely. And so yes, everyone, even in normal relationships, where both of you are very healthy, functioning couple, but it just didn't work out, after every breakup, the other person always thinks of the other person. You always think about each other afterwards, and that's why there's lingering phone calls and things like that. But with the narcissist, the only time he, I think, will miss you or think about you is if there's an interruption in the fuel flow on his end, right? Because that's where their mind goes when they're living their lives. It's all about fuel, right? And they don't even, I think, even notice this. But as soon as there's any type of disruption to their fuel source, they're going to think about you, because that's when they're going to consider Hoover, even. Now, as far as them missing you, because we're dealing with narcissists here, and they're going to miss the fuel that you handed over to them, the reassurance that you gave them from when you guys were in the beginning of your relationship. He's going to miss that. So does he miss me? He's going to miss all the fuel that he had gotten from you. Yeah. So he does. But you almost don't want them to miss you. We want validation, right? We spent so much time validating them, your entire relationship. We all got exhausted, giving to them, like funding their next grandiose idea, reassuring them that everything that they do and think is correct, even though they had these wildly, weird thinking of topics. You still supported them and everything like that. But I bet you, for me, it was for me, and I'll bet you it'll be for a lot of you out there. As soon as you really felt like you needed something for yourself, that had nothing to do with them, if you guys all think about it, that's probably when the devaluing started, right? And that's when a lot of things started to feel different in the relationship, is when you wanted something for yourself. As soon as your focus went off them and just looked at you for a little bit, because, when is anyone going to fund your next idea or support you in your next venture? There's going to come a moment in a relationship where it can't be all about them. And as soon as you do something for yourself, you could have been with your narc for 5 years, and then as soon as you took on your very first project that didn't have anything to do with them, that's probably when the devaluing or even the discard happened, right? So when that happens in his next relationship, after you guys have broken up, yeah, he's thinking about you, because their minds always go to wherever there was a fuel source is what he's thinking about, and that's what he's missing, right? Not, I don't think a narcissist can miss you the way a normal ex misses someone, you know? Because a normal ex will miss the emotions that you shared together, right? They'll miss the good times that you guys had together, right? That was mutual. But a narcissist only misses your fuel. Okay? So it's not really the same. And so you don't want them to miss the fuel that you used to provide, right? And now that you know that it wasn't the emotions that they were sharing with you, it was him mirroring your emotion, right? So all of those things almost make it not count that if they even miss you. You almost want to say, like, who cares if they miss me, because it wasn't real. So, and the only time that you find out that they miss you was because something happened in their new relationship and there was a disruption in his fuel line, right? And he's finding a secondary source, and that means just even a phone call, trying to him calling you saying I miss you is him trying to get a little bit of fuel to tie him over until his main supply is back online, is what would be happening. And you don't want that, right? So hope that they don't think of you, because the longer that goes, the further you get from them. And that's what you need. You need to stay away from them, right? These people are not they're not going to change, and they're not going to be able to give you anything. They can only take. So, does your ex-narc miss you? No. Does he think about you? Yes. He thinks about the fuel that you gave him, and he misses the fuel, not you. So, those are my thoughts on it, and what I really believe that my narc is doing. Leave me your comments below. I really love reading your guys' stories. Everyone's relationship is different, and I just love reading about them. I'm glad that you guys are listening to me, and that we have this community building here, because it's really important as we all go through this to get support with each other. We all need to find our tribe as we heal from Post Narcissist.